then comes Max Verstappen and says that front-wheel drive is the worst thing. Made me hurt. Civic Type R, FK8, with a very fancy, aggressive styling, as we all like them. Also interior is very nice. It's for me one of the favorite features of a Type R. And also the aggressive outside. Now, it's very sunny. It is definitely very, very sunny today. As a matter of fact, one of the hottest days of the year, 35 degrees. I don't know how much it is in the freedom height units, but yeah, you can do the conversion yourself. It's very hot. And this is also like the main topic of today's video, because FK8s, FK2s, and even FL5s get very, very hot, and yeah, it's something we had to keep in mind with. But let's quickly talk about the car while you're here. So the most prominent mods, we have bigger tires all around. Stock 245, now you have 255 Conti 7s, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Conti 7s, EBC blue stuff.
Yep. Braided brake lines.
Yes, intake and
intercooler and downpipe.
Yes,
that's all.
That's all.
Otherwise, it's stock.
Yeah. So your next mods should be probably oil cooler and a radiator, I guess.
Of course.
Yeah, that's.
But it's a daily driver, so.
Yes. But what if you're daily driving on such a hot day and you end up in a traffic jam and the car gets hot? But in Estonia, it's not that hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. It definitely is hot because it's in the summers it's probably hotter than here. So anyway, that's all there is to it. And yeah, thank you very much for the slap.
You loved it?
Yes, I did. Well, aside from the overheating issue, I loved the handling. Handling was for me really phenomenal, and don't know what's up with those wasps. Handling was very good, and I've been told it's stock alignment. Done to make sure that it's actually straight, but it's stock according to the Honda specifications. So alignment was very, very good. The handling is fantastic. Brakes were also okay, but we didn't push much because yeah, we took it very easy on the uphill section, and everything else was very nice. I could have a nice conversation with you guys. So yeah, to all the FK8 owners, let us know how you deal with heat management issues. And yeah, thanks again for the lap.
Thank you.
And yeah, you guys enjoy the lap. What do I do with this? Because now I'm wearing shorts. It's very hot today. It's like, it's on the dash it says 31, but in reality it's I think like 35. So having said that, FK8s and FL5s are super sensitive for heat. Even around 25 degrees or so, they already get overheated. So let's see how this is going to go now. I hope it will survive at least half a lap. But that's interesting because it's the first time I'm driving the FK8 as a solo driver, so I might as well talk you through it as my impressions. Power-wise, 300 something horsepower on front wheels, it's definitely enough. I can hear some speaker sound coming out of the speakers. I mean, well, the engine sound coming out of the speakers. The brakes are okay. The important thing is that it also has some nice alignment. Oh, I'm really happy with this. Nice. Because I've been told it's on Conti 7s, and it has EBC blue stuff, which is, I would say, acceptable brake pad from EBC from my side. But other than a few downpipe and intake mods, the car is stockish, plus a remap, but it's been, I think, down-tuned back again for the heat. But the handling is very, very nice. So yeah, FK8, as mentioned, very good hot hatch. It had a lap record for fastest front-wheel driven car, but seeing that FL5 was definitely not stock, I don't know if FK8 was stock, because the record was done before I was bothering into looking how the, well, whether they are legit, because when FL5 came out, I've done a very strict analysis comparing the gear ratios, the temperatures, the boost levels of the record car versus the stock car that I've driven multiple times, and yeah, it was definitely not stock with whatever they drove the record with. And some people have said that FK8 was similar when it comes to temperatures, when it comes to boost, gear ratios, whatever. And more importantly, the record with the FK8 was done before Nürburgring set up so-called the lap timing commission, so that everyone who applies for a lap record needs to be TÜV approved. registered and made sure that the car is actually legit. It's not a race car pretending to be a street car. So yeah. But in the stock form, I really love it. Also in terms of looks, I think it's definitely far more extreme than FL5. I believe they deliberately said, oh, we can see the water temperature already rising, yeah. They deliberately said that they want to go a bit less extreme with the FL5 and to be like more everyone's car, because FK8 is quite spicy on the looks, which I definitely like and appreciate, but yeah. So, what do we do temperature-wise? We have boost. I see the water temp, it was like over half, so yeah, probably the second half of the track, like the climbing bit, we will definitely slow down. But overall, I'm really happy with the handling, and the car has big following in general, because I mean, after all, it's a type. Oh, the temperature going very high up, so maybe we need to slow down already now inside. The car has a very good following. I'm just monitoring. I'm monitoring temperature with one eye. I'm looking ahead where I'm driving, and my brain is thinking what he wants to say to you. So yeah, it's turning into quite an interesting experience. Yeah, we're almost at the bottom of the track, because right side is the lowest section of the track. So we're gonna take it easy from here, short shift, because with climbing we do not want to upset the car. I think I killed a butterfly. I saw one going in front of the bumper. But handling is really good. Upshifting, mid-corner. Perfect, fantastic. So from here, we're gonna take it easy, put it in 6th gear, and let me talk you through what I think about the car. Yeah. So, in essence, of course, it's a hot hatch, front-wheel drive, turbocharged. By now, front-wheel drive was getting lots of love, because we had, of course, like cars such as Focus RS, when the car started pushing like 300 horsepower territory, and it was becoming too much. But then the suspension, the tire technology was catching up. You were getting like very interesting LSDs, limited slip differentials, not the other kind of LSDs. Hello, RX8. Which made front-wheel drive very appealing to people, and recent cars are actually quite nice. Like again, FL5 handling-wise is nice. All the Golf GTIs, i30N, etc., etc. Then comes Max Verstappen and says that front-wheel drive is the worst thing. Made me hurt. As a Honda guy. Yeah, made me sad. So, what I was getting at is, yeah, hot hatches are for me epic. I love them. And this car, although it's in Europe, maybe is a niche car, because ever since I started Vulcan Alpha, my aero engineering business, I noticed that FK8 and FL5, especially in Asian markets, is having lots and lots of love in terms of there are actually lots of cars being sold there and modified. Turning in the indicator for a very fast mini. Lots of cars are being sold, modified, built, and ever since we've done the release of a FL5 wing, lots of FK8 owners have actually reached out to us all over the world, saying like, hey, could you please, let's put it in 5th gear, could you please build an FK8 wing? So it's coming later. So although they might be not that popular here, because of price and performance levels, or being a bit of a more exotic car, other parts of the world, it's a very popular car. So it's actually very nice to see. Okay, we're on top of the hill. Should we now start cruising? So yeah, the problem that I have with turbocharged Hondas, whether it's FK2, FK8 or FL5, is that they get overheated and the handling, or sorry, the on-track performance is really not working. So that's my main concern or issue, I would say, with the car. But handling wise, they're fantastic, and because at the end, Honda, I mean, they know how to build a car. It's just for some reason it seemed that they didn't figure out how to build a turbocharged engine, because yeah, overheating issues. So I do love those cars and the way they perform. It's just that I really do not remember driving one that didn't go into limp mode or overheated. The recent one, the turbocharged ones, like FK8 maybe, yes, but then you end the lap with 150 degrees of oil, which was actually the case a few times. So this is just like my honest take on the car, the love-hate relationship that I have with it. I love the handling. It's just turbocharged ones. Maybe I guess need to build one myself. Not the current gen one, but like grab a K20, turbo it, which should be even harder. I guess it's a bigger challenge, so we'll see. La, 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 la. Woo-hoo! That was a bit too much, but then again, we're taking it very easy with rental cars ahead of us, and the cars ahead of us also that overtook me previously, and now probably thinking like sure, what's this guy doing? Now all of a sudden he's flooring it on the straight, and before that he couldn't do it. Good evening. Great car. Let's put it this way. In terms of, because it's not a race car, it's not a track car because it cannot handle the heat. But when we look at it from a daily perspective, you have very cool interior that really stands out from everything else out there. It's really screaming. So it's a proper racer car. You have all the handling and the comfort. So you have bucket seats and comfort at the same time. You have all the fine whistles and bells and so sync clap. What I was saying, as a daily car for 95% of the world population who own these cars, it's a fantastic car that stands out in looks, outside and inside, in performance. You have space. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's perfect. Then the other 4%, they track it. Of those 4%, let's say more than half are probably like moderate or beginning drivers who do not track it on extremely hot days, so they're still satisfied. So then we're only left with like 3% of the car owners who really fully sand it or fully modify it, or don't fully sand it but still need to modify it because the stock features do not really fit the car. So overall, I would not complain if Honda would not claim lap records with a stock car, because as mentioned, FK8 from factory cannot do a full lap of the Nürburgring without overheating, and definitely not on the same performance. FK8 probably neither, because I haven't looked into it. So if those claims were not there, it would be like whatever. The other issue is that I had an FK2 earlier this year with modified radiators and was still overheating. So the problem with new cars is that many of them are being like programmed / mapped on safety cycles where they don't actually measure the temperature, but they measure the assumption of like, if you're gonna be full throttle for 2.5 minutes, give or take or whatever, then this means your car is definitely gonna be hot, so put it in limp mode, it must be hot. Mustang is doing the same thing, at least the European one, European pack. Yeah. All right, we'll start talking off topic. Hope you guys enjoyed this little conversational lap we had with FK8. Let me know what you think, and especially actual like Honda drivers, users, FK8 owners. How do you deal with overheating situation for people who have an FK8 or are thinking of getting one? Yeah, other than that, I liked it. I didn't forget my card. So thanks for watching, and see you in one of the upcoming videos. Bye.